is Miss Kitty Reed. Gracie and I are here to wish you a Merry Christmas. My friend Gracie here is a Madame Alexander doll that was made for Avon in around 2013. Today we will be discussing Amish Christmas Kinner, a novella or short novel collection with stories by Lenora Worth, Rachel J. Good, and Kelly Long. It was published in 2023 by Kensington Books. The King's sisters, their husbands, and their mother all work at the Shadow Lake Inn. It is Christmas Eve and everyone is finishing up a celebratory feast when a woman struggles through the snowstorm to the inn. Leah is in labor. She had to desert her horse and buggy in the snowstorm, and she wants her husband Simon to be with her. He was on a bus coming back home from work. The King family matriarch is a midwife, and she and daughter Colette help Leah. The husbands find Simon and lead him to the inn, also taking along the other stranded travelers on the bus. The family accommodates all their guests, and Leah gives birth to a son named Liam John. The family aids a romance that starts on Christmas Eve and blossoms on New Year's Day. Leah is finally reunited with her estranged parents, who she has not seen since she ran away to elope with Simon. It is revealed that her mother has a heart condition, but she gets the treatment she needs. Two Amish sisters on the bus decide to move to the inn and work there. Colette figures out she wants to be a midwife like her mother. Everyone is happy after a Christmas filled with love and new friends, and are happy for the promises of a new year. The end. Emily just got a new job selling cheese at a farmer's market, but her boss doesn't seem to like her. Actually, Hosea is just struggling with grief over losing his wife and son. He tries to be nicer to Emily and gives her his wife's shoes to replace her worn ones. While working, she sees two children eating cheese samples and stealing candy. It turns out the children have run away from their abusive parents. Jax and Violet are placed as foster children with Emily, who has many foster children along with her family. Jax soon bonds with Hosea, even though Hosea finds it hard to look after a boy who looks so much like his dead son. Jack struggles to adapt to his new life and believes that no one cares about him. This is made worse by the threat that he will be adopted by an uncaring aunt, but Hosea and Emily support him, growing closer together themselves. Jax makes a scene at the Amish school's Christmas pageant, saying God does not love him. Hosea calms him down and teaches him to pray. Hosea and Emily agree to marry so Jax and Violet do not have to leave, but do confirm they love one another as well as the children. Hosea proposes to Emily and asks the children to be part of their family. They marry, and 3 years later, Emily, Hosea, and their new baby watch Jax talk about God's love at another Christmas pageant. The end. Grace's abusive husband just died, and she puts an ad in the paper for a mail-order groom. Luke, who just got out of prison, responds to her ad. The two are married that day. Luke reconnects with his brothers. Grace's oldest daughter, Rachel, does not like Luke. Grace and Luke learn to trust each other, and they soon have a fun time sledding, though Grace faints from sheer joy. Meanwhile, schoolteacher Anne has been rejecting the advances of Wander Smucker, who is 10 years younger than her, for years. When Wander goes looking for Rachel, who ran off crying into the woods, he finds her in a tree hiding from a bear cub. Luke and Grace happen upon the scene. Luke is clawed by the bear and Wander's arm is seriously wounded. Anne and Wander kiss while she visits him in the hospital. Grace becomes worried when Luke swears, reminding him of her first husband, but he vows to pray about it and to not do it again. Luke tells Grace that he was in prison for 2 years when, after being kicked out of his abusive father's house, he broke into a house to get food. Luke and Grace, along with the children, are now a family. The end. So there was a lot going on. All of these stories had way too much for a novella. Christmas Eve Baby kept introducing plot points because it really had no overarching plot. After Leah had the baby, there was really nothing to go off of, and it just floated along like a ship without oars. Best Christmas Pageant Ever needed a full book because we got a lot of Hosea and Jax, and to a lesser extent Emily and Jax bonding, but we get almost no bonding with anyone in Violet. More importantly, we get almost no bonding between Hosea and Emily, the romantic couple at the focus of the book. This is a romance. We need more romance. Loving Luke was under 100 pages, and it deserved a whole book, if not more. This was kind of a mess. It would have been better to have Anne and Wander be the couple, because that is a more straightforward plot that could fit into a shorter story like this. As it is, Grace and Luke married knowing nothing about each other, and now know a little more, but still next to nothing. Isn't that cute? We really needed more time with them. Another major problem with all of these stories is that they are part of larger series. Christmas Eve Baby is part of the Shadow Lake series. Best Christmas Pageant Ever is part of the Surprised by Love series, and Loving Luke is part of the Amish Mail Order Grooms series. It feels like you are suddenly reading a book part way with these stories. I understand readers like to continue with series that they have come to enjoy, and going along with the author's worlds that they have become accustomed to, but for authors, write your own novella collection if you want to just focus on the existing series. No one knows what the backdrops for these stories are if you have not read the books already. For everyone else who's not familiar with these authors, you're just going in blind, and it makes for a pretty bad experience. This could have been easily remedied by putting on the back cover that this is a story that's part of a wider series. Even so, the book is good for reading a few pages here and there as you warm up from putting Christmas decorations outside, or put your head on the pillow at the end of a cold winter's night. It is pretty light on the Christmas emphasis, but still it's heartwarming for snowy days. 4 out of 7, but I think other people might rate it higher, especially if you read other books by these authors. Our next book will be A Quilt for Jenna by Patrick E. Craig. Please check with your local library to see if they have it on the shelves. If not, I'm sure they would be happy to get it for you through interlibrary loan. I would like to say that I got this very beautiful Christmas sweatshirt from Augie and Ember Company, who were at a local craft fair. Please go out and support their work because it's a very comfortable sweatshirt and they have a lot of book-themed clothing items. Merry Christmas from Miss Kitty Reed and Gracie. See you in 2025 for more Amish Book Club.